Hello and welcome to this information session. In this information session, we're going to talk about some techniques to increase inventory turnover. So just to give a little review on where we are in our information sessions, we have talked about cash conversion cycle, and we said it's the number of days it takes inventory receivables to turn into cash plus the number of days it takes inventory to turn to accounts receivables minus the number of days it takes a company to pay its payables. So we're going to zoom in the middle part of the cash conversion cycle, and in this information session we're going to find some ways to increase inventory turnover and thus decrease the number of days it takes inventory to turn to receivables. So as you can see in the video description, just a review here, the inventory turnover is cost of goods sold divided by the average inventory of any company. So it consists of two parts: cost of goods sold and average inventory. So as you can see, I have divided the techniques into two groups. So by increasing the cost of goods sold, actually we have to increase the sales. So here are some ways to increase sales. Technique number one is to offer discounts. The more discounts you offer, the more sales, and thus the more cost of goods sold. Second technique is supply a financer to your customer, and here we'll just give two examples. If you go to Wal-Mart, probably they will give you a Wal-Mart Master Card. So what Wal-Mart is doing, they're finding a financer for their customer, so that way increases the sales and thus increase the cost of goods sold that Wal-Mart would have. Another example, if you go to any car dealership, most likely they have a financer available for any kind of customer, no matter how bad credit they probably have. So the third technique about increasing cost of goods sold is, as usual, market your products, advertising, and find new markets or customers actually to your products, thus increasing the sales, and by the same way you increase your cost of goods sold. The second part about improving or increasing the inventory turnover for a certain company is by reducing the average inventory for any given company. And I listed just three ways here, or three techniques. The first one here in the second part is become a consignor. If there is a way that you can convince your supplier not to buy the product and put it in your warehouse and then sell it, instead you can take it out of the supplier warehouse without buying it, and once you sell it, then you buy it from the customer. So the average days of this inventory sitting as your ownership, as in your ownership, is going to be zero, because the time you sell them is the time you purchase them, even though they're sitting in your warehouse, but you don't actually own them if you are a consignor. The second way in the second part here is, if there is a way that you can take your customers' orders and just go to the supplier premises and send them right away from the supplier to the customer without even passing through your inventory or your warehouse, that's another great solution to reducing your average inventory. So if there is a possibility of doing so, then a smart move is to do so. The third technique in the second part is return mistakenly shipped inventory to suppliers. So as we know, is once the inventory is received to your warehouse, your supplier is going to issue you an invoice, and you'll be the owner of the new products shipped. And if you haven't shipped these products, or they were mistakenly shipped to you, ship them back to the supplier and ask them for a credit memo, or just ask them to cancel the sales. So I have just listed 6 ways on improving inventory turnover. There are other ways of improving inventory turnover and reduce the number of days inventory sits in your warehouse. And hopefully you have found this information session useful, and we're looking forward to see you in the next information session. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.